Hey, what's up YouTube? This is Cookie Monster ProForgeRacing bringing you my 23rd ForgER review, Nuk3dIceCream. Before I get into the review though, there's a few things I wanted to talk about. First thing is, I'm sorry I haven't made a video in a long time. I've been really busy lately. My girlfriend at the beginning of October, she lives in a different state, so when I see her, I'm with her 24/7, and she stayed at my house with me for a week straight at the beginning of October. So for that week I couldn't, make a video because I was with her. And then the next couple weeks after that, the past 2 weeks, have been the most busy academic weeks of my life. I've had literally, I think, 8 tests, like 5, 6 quizzes, 2 or 3 school projects, my college essay, applying for colleges, 40-slide PowerPoint. I've just been fucking swamped because it's my senior year, so I'm sorry about that. I've just been way too busy. I haven't even been able to sign on Xbox. But this weekend, I'm trying to get 11 ForgER reviews, maybe more done, so there's a shit ton coming. I'm also working on a really cool map. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but don't think I quit forging because I have a new map. I don't have time to make it, and it's really challenging to make, and I'm trying to perfect it. So it's going to take a while to make the map, but I think I and you will both, everyone will be happy with the map when it finally does come out. And another thing I want to talk about was how I got into forging. A lot of people have been asking me who taught me how to forge and stuff like that. I actually taught myself back in Halo 3. My first ever map, Racetrack, was my second map ever made called Fat Pride, which was my old gamer tag. It was called Fat Pride Raceway. And my first map was Fat Pride Arena, or no, it was Fat Pride something, and then Fat Pride Mansion, and then Fat Pride Raceway. I think it was my third map ever. And then 2 summers ago, actually, I made a racetrack with my friend, Shitty One, and then I started getting really into them over 2 years ago, and I got really into making racetracks, and I made like 20 pretty bad ones, and then I made like 20 decent ones, and then I made like my 20 good ones, along with like 20 or so Slayer maps. I made like 60 maps in Halo 3. If you ever get on Halo 3, check out my racetracks. I worked really hard, and I taught myself. I used to copy people like HJ117 and Rogue Shadow and Spectacular Raw and XX Zor XX. Like, those were like 4 of the best that I used to love their maps. And I checked out their maps, and I copied them, and I taught myself how to put pieces inside of other pieces. And then I watched a tutorial on ghost merging, and I got really into it. And then, since I was really good at forging in Halo 3, which was a lot harder than Halo Reach, I then, picked up forging in Halo Reach pretty easily. But that's how I got into forging. A lot of people have also asked me what Cookie Monster, why that's my gamer tag. No, I'm not just a huge fan of Sesame Street. My initial gamer tag was FatPride27, and then Bob Ross27, named after the painter Bob Ross, and then Cookie Monster, and then Tall Glass of Man. But Cookie Monster, there's 3 YouTube videos, numbers 1, 2, and 3, called Cookie Monster Contacts Santa Claus, and they're extremely hilarious, and that's what got me to make my gamer tag this. I couldn't help it. It was just, those videos are too funny. I'll have a link in the description of this video to the 3 Cookie Monster Contacts Santa's video. You have to watch them, and you'll understand why my gamer tag is named Cookie Monster. There was no way I could resist. No way I could not make my gamer tag that after seeing those. Anyways, on to the actual review itself of Nuk3dIceCream. This is his first map. This one's called Around the Island, meaning the main island in Forge World. It's a double-wide map. It's actually a hybrid map. For those of you who don't know, hybrid is a mix of terrain and sky, or a mix of terrain and roller coaster, or a mix of usually terrain and something, but it's a mix of 2 types of maps. It's a pretty smooth map. It's not perfect. It's not the most smooth or most original map out there, but it was his first. I'm not sure if it's the first map he's ever made, at least the first one in his file share, so the oldest of all his file shared maps. It's not bad, though. I think it lacks in the scenery department, and it also has a few like strange, I guess, transitions. They end up working, but not perfectly. Overall, though, it's a pretty good map. It's got a couple fun jumps and stuff, and it's always nice to see a hybrid as compared to a map that's entirely just skytrack, double wide. It's nice to have the mix of terrain in there. Not only does it make the map longer, but it just adds a little bit of extra fun to the map, and I just think when you add a little bit of terrain to a skytrack to make it a hybrid, it just makes it a little bit better. So I think that was overall a really good map. I liked it a lot. This next map is called The Cave because the central and pretty much the only scenery piece in the map is a cave in the center of the map. But this map was made with ForgER W, and there was one part that was made by Oh No It's AIDS, this spiral coming up, and then the first jump were made by Oh No It's AIDS, who I already did a review of. This first jump is a little sketchy because I'm pretty sure, it's not the start of the map, but I'm pretty sure that was the point where they had to reconnect the map from one point to the other. And it uses a shield and it bounces you, but it doesn't bounce you perfectly. It kind of bounces you at a weird angle, so it's not perfect. But the rest of the map's pretty good. I like it a lot. Like the second jump especially, it works out really well. There is one flaw though. The second jump, if you die, Nuk3dIceCream told me that the checkpoint right before the jump is too close. So if you die on the jump and you respawn on the checkpoint before the jump, make sure you back up so you have enough time. That third jump worked pretty well too. And overall, it's a really good map. ForgER W is another forger. He came to me and asked for help on making double wides and thought it was really hard. And I showed him how to do it, and he picked up on it really well. And so they made a great map there. But this map is called Around Tempest. It's mostly a double wide, but it's, again, another hybrid map, which is great to see because hybrids are awesome. This is a fun map. He used pretty much the entire area of Tempest. He used pretty much all of it, which is awesome. I like this turn a lot. It's like a banked type turn with rocks. I think that's awesome. I think this turn's cool too with the berm on the side. I think he did a really good job with this map. Again, it doesn't have a whole lot of scenery. A lot of his maps, they don't have scenery. And if you know me, I love scenery. Especially themed scenery. I'm not a huge fan of that like modern art shit where it's just this part right here is kind of confusing. You're supposed to go around that circle, but I didn't know that. But that's what you're supposed to do. Go to the right and work your way around. But as I was saying, with scenery, I'm not a huge fan of like the modern art, just random shapes that look cool that hang above the track itself. I think if you come up with a theme, it adds some nostalgic to the map, and it makes it a lot of fun. Even just a race, like Star Wars or Harry Potter, or, Lord of the Rings or whatever anything Duquesne does, pretty much. It just makes it fun. This map right here is another, this one's actually all sky, but this is, again, another double wide racetrack. This one's called Round and Round because there's a lot of loops, a lot of circles, I guess, on the map itself. But this track is great that you go round and round on. This map is a little bit longer than the other ones because, well, there's a little bit more sky to them. Overall, they might be a little bit shorter because they don't have the terrain that the other one had. But overall, it's a really good map too. I like the fact that the other ones had terrain again because hybrids are a lot of fun. But he did a really good job with this map too. I like coming up here, well, maybe not quite yet, but towards the end of the map, you go over a section where there's like columns holding the track up, and it looks like a bridge broke right up here. And there's like a little middle section, and I think that part just looks really cool. It looks like the middle section was part of a bridge that like broke. And it kind of reminds me in like Lord of the Rings in the first movie when they're in the Mines of Moria, and Frodo and Aragorn are standing on that bridge and it breaks and then like falls onto the other part. It just looks like that, the way it's standing up. That was a fun map though. I liked it overall. This next map is called Inception 2.0. It's a really fun Slayer map. It's four-way symmetrical. I don't know if there's a different word for that, but it's symmetrical all four ways. It's a lot of fun. Right here on the outside of each map, there's a little man cannon that sends you onto the top floor in the very middle, which seems to be the main point of where everyone fights, is in the middle of the map. Because all the entrances go down and lead towards the middle, and then there's like a couple lifts that bring you up to the top. One part about the map I didn't really like a whole lot was there's so much water on the outsides, like on the in-between areas of the map. There's a lot of water that you can easily fall into, so it's really easy to die. But overall, it's a lot of fun. It's really fun fighting for the middle. I think this is a Slayer map, but I think it would be great for like King of the Hill. Especially, I don't know if in Reach, I don't play matchmaking much in Reach, but I remember in Halo 3 they had a game type called Mosh Pit, where it was King of the Hill, but the hill constantly stayed in one spot. I think this would be a great Mosh Pit map for a lot of people if the hill was right at the top in the middle here, where I am now. I'm invisible and I'm a sneaky bitch. Right here, actually, I found a little hiding spot, and people really had no idea where I was for a while, and so it kind of worked to my advantage. But eventually they found out. I don't think this is necessarily a flaw of the map. Even the Bungie maps have places where you can hide. I guess it's just a sneaky little place that I found, because I'm a sneaky bitch. What can I say? But, as you'll see in a little while, I eventually end up falling from this place. And dying. Because I get a little too cocky. I want to find an even better spot. So right here, I try and jump up on this thing, but I end up slipping down into the water like a friggin' water slide. Anyways, on to the final map. This one's called Through the Tunnels. It's a map with a lot of tunnels. It's pretty much just a big long rectangle with a ton of tunnels on them. And I know other people have made maps with tunnels on them before. And there's like that map Tunnel Vision or whatever. There's been a few maps, but this one I think is really unique and definitely very different than any other tunnel map out there. I don't know if there's a genre of tunnel maps, but anyways, this one's really unique. Right here's a split section, and each side, you can go left or right, it has a little thin part that then leads into another tunnel. And then right here's the little jump, and then you go to the berm to, you guessed it, another tunnel. And you go through this tunnel, and this tunnel is a little bit thinner, and it leads to what's kind of like a drift turn. It's a big square turn. Kind of reminds me of the roller coaster Sands of Time in Halo 3. But anyways, Nuk3dIceCream is a great map maker with a lot of awesome maps, so please go to his file share and download all of them. Thank you for watching.